We aren't allowed to have opinions. People can tell you to keep your mouth shut, but it doesn't stop you from having your own opinion. Even if people are still very young, they shouldn't be prevented from saying what they think. Anne Frank. First they came for the communists, and I did not speak out, because I was not a communist. Then they came for the trade unionists, and I did not speak out, because I was not a trade unionist. Then they came for the Jews, and I did not speak out, because I was not a Jew. Then they came for me, and there was no one left to speak up for me. Who wrote these words? Why did they write them? And why might it be important for us? Friedrich Gustav Emil Martin Niemöller was a German Lutheran pastor, and he wrote these words. He also founded the Confessing Church, which ended up being a church that opposed the Nazification of Germany. Because he spoke against the state, he was sent to concentration camps. Between 1937 and 1945, this was about the time Anne Frank and her family were hiding also from the Nazis. But while Anne Frank did not survive, Pastor Niemöller did. Many people, when thinking about the Holocaust, this is a picture of Auschwitz, concentration camp, wonder, how did this happen? How did people allow this to happen? Well, Niemöller wrote his poem to kind of explain this. He said that the intellectuals, the educated thinking people in Germany, were actually too scared to speak out against the Nazis. And as different groups in the society were targeted, people didn't get involved because it didn't affect them or their families. Niemöller said that when the communists were rounded up and starting to be sent to the camps, people's attitude was, well, who cared about them? You know, they're communists. We knew it was happening, it was printed in the newspapers, but it didn't affect us. And he said when they came for the sick, the incurables, then people's reactions were, well, perhaps it's right. You know, these sick people, they're just costing the state money. They're a burden to us. They're a burden to themselves. Why should they really live? And most people didn't say anything because they could have gone to the camps themselves. It is very difficult to speak against a strong government, a government that's making decisions that people don't agree with. So people were scared. But we need to ask ourselves, can people speak out against things that are wrong? Well, throughout history, we've had many people who have done so: Gandhi, Nelson Mandela, MLK Jr., Rosa Parks, and even Anne Frank, in her own way. She wrote her diary faithfully, not really to speak out, but to give us an honest look at how life was living in fear of the Nazis. Many people throughout history have spoken up against something that they felt was wrong. You should ask yourself, could you be the type of person to speak out against what you feel is wrong?